I'm Matthew. Today I'd like to show you how to make scones using less fat. My family and I love scones, but having too many can feel a bit heavy. So today I'll share a lighter version, still full of flavor. Let's get started. First, let me show you the ingredients. 300 grams of plain flour, a pinch of salt, since I'm using unsalted butter. This adds a touch of flavor. About 80 grams of unsalted butter, and that's it. 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, some raisins or mixed dry fruit, and roughly 100 milliliters of milk. Now I'll add the butter into the flour, about 80 grams. Once the butter's added, I'll use a fork and spoon to work it into the flour, so it forms what's known as breadcrumbs. The idea is to get the butter fully combined with the flour. You can do this by hand too. It might take a few minutes. Now it's looking even. The butter and flour are well mixed. As you can see, it's turned into a breadcrumb-like texture. The butter and flour have combined to form small granules. Now I'll add a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Give it all a good mix. And in go the mixed fruit. Now I'll beat 1 egg and pour most of it into the bowl. Save a bit for brushing over the tops later for a nice golden color. Then add the 100 milliliters of milk in 2 or 3 batches. Stir gently. Here goes the second batch. And now the last. Now I'll use my hand to gently fold the dough. Just press and fold. You don't need to knead it properly. The aim is simply to combine the ingredients. As I keep folding, you'll see there's not much flour left in the bowl. In fact, it's nearly there. Next, I'll turn the dough out onto a large plate. I'll press it down firmly and flatten it slightly. A firm dough helps the scones keep their shape during baking. I personally like taller scones, so I keep the dough about 2 centimeters thick. Now I'll grab a baking tray and line it up with baking paper. Use a cookie cutter about 2 inches in diameter. Press down to cut out the scones. Here's how it looks once it's cut. Now I place it on the tray. I'll carry on cutting out the rest. You should get 6 to 8 scones from this batch. With the leftover dough, press it together again to cut more scones. Make sure it's well pressed. The firmer the better, or they might fall apart after baking. This one can't be cut out, so I'll press it directly into the cutter. The last one didn't turn out great. It wasn't done by cutting really, so the final result might not be ideal, but it should be still okay. Now take the leftover egg and lightly brush the tops one by one. This helps them turn golden in the oven. We are nearly done. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius after a few minutes. I've now preheated the oven to 180 degrees C. I'll pop the scones in. Set your timer for 15 minutes. We'll come back halfway through to rotate the tray. Okay, it's just over halfway. Time to turn the tray. As you can see, the scones have popped up nicely. We'll let them bake for another 6 to 7 minutes and check again. It's been over 15 minutes now. I had a peek earlier and the tops weren't quite golden, so I turned the oven up to 200 degrees C for a couple more minutes. Let's take them out and have a look. Just look at that. They've risen beautifully, lovely, with a gorgeous golden top. I believe this one was the last, which I didn't cut with the cookie cutter. It wasn't firm enough, so it rose a bit sideways. But this one, it is a beautiful baked scone. It's a bit hot and super soft right now, so it's best to place them on a cooling rack to settle before tucking in. The best way to enjoy them is to slice them in half and spread on some clotted cream. This isn't an advert, but this is genuinely the best brand of clotted cream out there. Now the scones have cooled down, I'm going to slide one open and show you the inside. Look at that. It's lovely and light. The texture is just right. Let me cut right through. Just look at the texture. Really well done. Now I'll spread some clotted cream on top. This is a freshly opened tube of clotted cream. Let's add a bit more. You should also add jam on top of the cream, but I actually prefer mine without it. Right, moment of truth. Let's give it a try. Absolutely delicious. So fluffy. And with the clotted cream, unbeatable. You really must try this. So good.